All right, so I'm Josh Gray, and I am here in the city of Jeremie, Haiti, and I'm with my friend and colleague, Maillard Magloire. We are together leading an organization here in Jeremie called Thrive Ansanm, and today I just want to take a few moments to talk with Maya. Maya's a native of Jeremie. I want to learn a little bit, I want you to share with people a little bit more about your background, where you're coming from, what it was like growing up here in Jeremie, and then talk about the work we're doing here in Thrive Ansanm, and specifically why this work was important for young people here in Jeremie, Haiti. So, Maya, I'll let you introduce yourself, and then we'll dive in.
Thank you, Mr. Josh. And hello, everyone. My name is Maillard Magloire, and I am the country director for Thrive Ansanm, and I was born and raised in Jeremie. And after finishing with my high school studies, I had to move to Port-au-Prince, the big city of Haiti, or the capital of Haiti. And I went to University Kiskeya, where I studied international relations and political science. And after my studies, I had to move to Jeremie in order to work there as country director for Thrive Ansanm to empower young people here in Jeremie. It's a such privilege for me to talk to you about our experiences and work in Jeremie.
Yeah, that's great. So the first thing I think we have to talk about is right now, Haiti's getting some coverage on the news. So we're sitting here in Haiti, but people in the United States, other countries around the world, all they know about Haiti is what they're reading on the news. And what they're reading on the news is they're reading about gangs in Port-au-Prince, they're reading about violence, insecurity, the collapse of governments, institutions. The images they're seeing is burning tires, even sometimes violent images like bodies on the street. And we know that this reality is very much here in Haiti. The violence is real, the insecurity is real, but there's also a lot more going on in Haiti. So talk a little bit about what's actually happening here in Haiti from your perspective, the violence and the insecurity, but also what would you like people to know about Haiti that they're not reading on the news?
Yeah, well, this is a good question. Josh, thank you for asking. But one of the biggest problems that Haiti is facing right now is about political and leadership. We have so many leaders, but they don't really care about the country. They don't love the country. And that's the biggest problem that we are facing. And also, the rate of inequality is very high. People doesn't have access to this basic need. So that's the biggest problem we are facing right now. But besides that, what the social media shows about Haiti is something very, very bad, because most of the time they show only the bad images about Haiti. But beside all those things, there are many positive parts that they never show. That's I would call the hidden side of Haiti. Our gastronomy, our history, our culture, our tourism. They are very, very positive things about Haiti. But the social media, the news, you don't see them until we come to visit it. So I believe also right now, if all the politicians and the leaders come together, there are so much change they can bring for it. There is hope. Because if people put their head together, I think Haiti might change. But at the same time, the only one thing that we are facing is inequality. It's about corruption. It's about leadership. So as long as we change our view about political situation, about inequality, I believe the change will come for the country. So as an Haitian, it makes me very sad to see what's going on in my country. But also I believe that with hope, thanks to the power of education, the change is not going to come by itself, but we have to work on it in order to make it happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so, and what we also know is what they're showing on the news is most important for us, right? So you're seeing the gangs, you're seeing the violence, and that's centralized in Port-au-Prince because, as you say, it is a political problem.
Yeah.
And the capital is where all of the politics in Haiti is centered. But we're here in Jeremie, so we're pretty far away from the capital. So for someone who doesn't know, talk about what's happening in the capital, how it's different here, but also how, even though it may be more peaceful here, how is the violence in the capital affecting us here in Jeremie right now?
Yeah, this is a very good question, and to give explanation about it, first thing that people need to know, Port-au-Prince is the capital of Haiti. But the biggest problem Haiti is facing right now is the fact that all of the institutions that have more power are centralized in Port-au-Prince. That means they don't have decentralization. If you need to do a specific paperwork, you need to go to Port-au-Prince. Now, since we are living in Jeremie, Jeremie is one of the farthest city of Haiti. So it's about 7 hours by bus from Jeremie to Port-au-Prince. And also because the gangs are operating in some areas, it's become more and more difficult for the bosses to go from Port-au-Prince to Jeremie and from Jeremie to Port-au-Prince now, because most of the businessmen, they buy the stuff, the merchandise from Port-au-Prince in order to go to other places. Now in Jeremie, we buy the stuff that we need in Port-au-Prince. So right now, because of this situation, gangs are controlling most of the areas. It's become more and more complicated for the businessmen to send the merchandise from Port-au-Prince to Jeremie. And right now it's become more and more complicated. The more it's more complicated is the fact that the people who pay the prices is the final consumers. I mean, I will say that, like, if you want,
as in the people in Jeremie,
the people,
final consumers, they're paying the high prices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that we are facing what we call the inflation rate is very high, because way back then, if you used to buy something for 10 Haitian dollars, right now you pay it like more than 20. It means the inflation rate is very high. And also, the rate of the violence is not as the same in Port-au-Prince and Jeremie. In Jeremie, you can move from a place to another place. You can move from an area to another area. You can move to the supermarket, to your house. You can move easily from a place to another place. But in Port-au-Prince, it's very complicated. But when people talk about Haiti, they just see Port-au-Prince. That I will say to some people who is watching this video, Haiti is not Port-au-Prince. So there are many positive things happening right now, and in the coming minutes, we are going to talk about Thrive Ansanm, what we are doing, and the impact we are making on the life of the students.
Yeah, and it's, you talk about the centralization in Port-au-Prince. Yeah, so we do live in relative peace here in Jeremie, but as you say, the prices are going up, inflation. So it's harder for the average family to live and provide for their family today than it was even a year ago, right?
Exactly.
And I know for me, if I'm going to go into Port-au-Prince, I'm a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
How do you feel going into Port-au-Prince right now?
Now, to be honest, if you go into Port-au-Prince, it's something make everybody afraid of. Because you're passing to Manchester, you're passing by Mariani, right now going to Port-au-Prince is something that, if you plan to go, everybody is afraid about. Your parents, your friends, they say, it's not easy to go from another place to Port-au-Prince, especially when we know Jeremie, we have what we call the forest department of Haiti. Yeah, the entire city of Haiti. So right now, going to Port-au-Prince has become more complicated. That's why many people are afraid to go to Port-au-Prince, passing by Matissan or passing by Maillard.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, like you say, the crisis we're experiencing in Haiti right now is in a large part a crisis of leadership.
Yeah, leadership.
And so here in Jeremie with Thrive Ansanm, we're trying to invest in young leaders here in Jeremie, right? So we launched Thrive Ansanm here in Jeremie a couple of years ago. Prior to that, you've been working with young people in the community for many years. You have been a young person here in this community. So from your perspective, talk about the work we're doing at Thrive Ansanm and why it's important for young people here in Jeremie.
Well, thank you. Nelson Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. Thrive Ansanm, we give a chance to young people in Haiti to access university and school, because there is no hope for a country to change without education. That's why I believe with Thrive Ansanm, what we are doing to empower young people to become the leaders that they want. also sometimes one of the biggest limitations they have is about financial support. That's why Thrive Ansanm, we support them financially, but also we provide a mentor for them. We provide all the basic needs that they have to face the reality, the daily reality, and to become successful. That's why I believe that the work that we are doing with Thrive Ansanm, with the young people and Jeremie especially, it's very remarkable because they have access to education, they have access to the resource center, and also they have access to a mentor to guide their life. It's like Thrive Ansanm is shaping the new generation of leaders for the community and for Haiti, and also why not for the world? Because when you become a well-educated citizen, you don't belong no more to your country, to your community, but you become a world citizen. I believe that with Thrive Ansanm, there is hope for the next generation. There is hope for the future and the life of those young people who have access to education right now. Also, you can see they are very, very skillful. They get good grade at school, and also we believe the work of Thrive Ansanm is a light that is going to shine the darkness that we are facing in this right now.
Yeah, and you talk about the education, talk about the mentoring. You also mentioned the resource center again. So for people that don't know, at a resource center, we're providing high-speed internet, laptops, electricity.
Exactly.
Explain a little bit about why it's difficult to access technology here in Haiti and why that's so important for young students here.
It's very important because nowadays we living in a globalized world. A globalized world means people are going from a place to another place. People are going from a country to another country. But for Haiti, it's become more complicated because the actual situation. But we will say we do it virtually to navigate through the world, to get friendship, to get more friendship in more web, in more network, and also to study and then to practice our own work to stay connected with the rest of the world. So the resource center is very important because first we have, as you said, we have high speed of internet, we have computers, and also we have someone working as a volunteer to guide the students or any person that come to the resource center to make some researches. Because nowadays, thanks to the power of technology, we can do a lot of things. We can learn away from school. We can do a lot of things. But thanks to the resource center of Thrive Ansanm, many young people have access to internet.
So, the young people in our program, college students, children in school, they're pursuing a brighter future, right? They're pursuing an education, they're pursuing knowledge, they're hoping to one day get a good job, build a thriving future. So I want to hear a little bit more about your background because you're still you've advanced farther than these students. You've graduated from college, you've established yourself as a young professional here in Jeremie, but that's been a long journey for you to get to this point. So talk to us just a little bit about, where you were born, where you're coming from, your family, what it was like growing up, and how you get from there to where you are sitting here today.
Yeah, thank you. This is a good question, where I come from, where I am, and where I want to be. Yeah, as I said from the beginning of my introduction, I was born and raised in Jeremie. After finish high school, like everybody else, young people, I had to move to Port-au-Prince because they are what we call centralization, where most of the universities are in Port-au-Prince. The most important about my life is the fact that when I finished high school, it was difficult for me to go to the university because my parents could not pay for my education. When I realized that I had to do something, when I remember the power of education, as Nelson Mandela said, is the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. I said to myself, either I find a way or I quit. So in this situation, it was more and more complicated. After the earthquake in 2010, I met the missionary team come from South Carolina. And then thanks to a good friend of mine, I met, by the time, his name is Dr. Kelly. And then we become very close friends. And then he referred me to a program called Haiti Children Project. And then,
so back up just for a second. So you were born and is not, in the Jeremie area, right? But I was in a little community outside of Jeremie, right?
Yeah, my parents were my parents were living in the countryside called Leo, a little remote city outside of the big city of Jeremie. But when my mother was about to give birth to me, to move from Leon to come to the big hospital in Jeremie, and then I was born in Jeremie and going back and forth from Jeremie to Leon.
So growing up as a child, and did you go to school when you were young in Lyon?
Yeah, I went to school in Jeremie first, in Lyon first, and then after I moved to Jeremie.
Was that in high school or?
I started in fundamental school in Lyon, okay, and then high school in Jeremie.
Okay, so growing up in fundamental, which for those who don't know is essentially elementary
school,
right? As a young child going to an elementary school in Lyon, like, what's the world like for you? What's your school like? What do kids in Lyon think their future's going to be?
Well, when you are kids or you are in a remote countryside like that as Lyon is, by the time the innovation of technology was not very well known as it is right now. I didn't have any cell phone. I didn't have any, how can I say that, TV, anything that could make me think bigger about the future. But
so no internet, obviously,
no,
because this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But even a cell phone,
no smartphone.
Radio? We probably have radio, right?
Yes, we have
radio, right? But you don't even necessarily have TV in your house.
No library.
Okay.
To go to make some research, to read. But after moving from there, coming to Jeremie, it was a live changing experience. This is for the first time I went to a library, and I started reading some books. And then when I discovered, the first book I discovered, it was a book about Martin Luther King. Wow. And then when I started reading about Martin Luther King, I said, okay, either I can't wait or I may fall. And then this is where I began to understand the reality of life, that you can be the person that want to be in life, but you have to strive, you have to do a lot of effort to become the person that you are. But to be honest, by the time, nowadays, the new generation has much opportunities than us. Now they have internet, they have smartphone, they have so many applications, so many websites where they can go and learn something. But by the time, in my time, those opportunities were not available.
Right. And I've heard students in our program say YouTube's like another university for them.
Yeah.
All the resources that are available.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't have YouTube at that time.
At that time.
But as a high school student, maybe YouTube is there.
Yeah.
But it's in its early phases. But reading those books, just going to the library and be able to actually now have books and reading, that's opening your world.
Exactly.
Right? And so then as a high school student, your world's starting to expand. What are you saying, okay, what are the goals and dreams you're starting to have, and what do you realize you got to do to achieve those dreams?
Yeah, one of the best things to answer with this question, one of the biggest problem that the young generation is making right now, they have dreams, but they don't have any plan to make those dreams come true. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, a very famous soccer player, who said that the difference between the dream and reality, your dreams are coming reality when you work harder to make them reality. But one of the biggest problems we're facing right now, some young people have dreams, but they don't work hard to make those dreams become reality. So for me, I understand that the fact that you're facing enough of difficulties, you're facing a lot of difficulties, but what we plan to get out of this situation that we're facing right now. But it's not going to be easy. Like for me, as I said earlier, when I finished high school, it was not easy for me to go to university. But it was thanks to a family from South Carolina, a missionary family coming to Haiti. They invested in me. And today I can say they are very proud of me. What I did, I learned English by myself, and also I went to many places where I volunteered to many organizations. Thanks to my volunteering experiences, now I get a lot of network, I get a lot of experiences, and right now I can say there are many organizations they want me to work for them. Why? Because of the potential that I have right now, because what I'm doing in my community, because the impact that I'm doing. But if I said to myself, okay, my situation is very complicated. I am not going to take action to get out of where I come from, or get out from my comfort zone. I will be in the bad situation. But today, right now, as you said, with Thrive Ansanm, we are making a lot of difference and in the lives of young people here. So because I take an action and then I make my dream come in reality. But right now, for me, I'm not satisfied yet from where I want to go. But a lot of young people, when you ask them some questions, okay, what you gonna do in life? And then I was surprised to hear that the young people say, okay, I will not become someone like my own. Even for me, I'm not satisfied yet. I said, oh, really? I have so much things to accomplish. I have so many paths to take until I get where I wanna be in life. But it's also a good experience when you see the young people looking at you and they say, okay, I wanna be someone like you. I wanna work like you. But it's something very, very important.
Yeah, and it's like you say, there's a combination. There's the action you take. So, for instance, you were already reading books.
Yeah,
you're already thinking about your future. You're already studying, working hard. But if your family had been in a different situation, your parents didn't have money to send you to high school, you never go to Jeremie, and you never had access to that library. And if your friends from South Carolina never invest in you to help to go to university,
I would be never where I am.
You wouldn't. Yeah, and that's the thing that we're trying to do, right, with our students here at Thrive Ansanm is, okay, there are so many students like you were as a student who are hardworking, they're intelligent, they have motivation. And like you said, there's some that lack that motivation.
Exactly.
But here at Thrive Ansanm, we want to identify those students that have the innovation, that can be the leaders of tomorrow, and then say, okay, what are they lacking? What opportunities can we help to provide for them so that they can continue to move forward in their life? Yeah. And, maybe talk a little bit about how we identify students here, right? Because we have a process to try to identify students for the program.
It's a very difficult process because there are so many smart young people, and also there are so many young people who are in need to get a scholarship. But it's become more and more competitive because, as you know, the actual situation that we are facing in Haiti, it's very crucial, and the parents doesn't have the means to send the children or the young kid, to send the loved one to university, or to send them to high school or to elementary school. So what we do as Thrive Ansanm, we went to the universities, and then anytime they have like we call entrance examination, we selected the top students that will pass the outcome with very high score. And then we have a basic interview with them. We don't let them know if they are going to be selected for a scholarship. But after that, we ask them to bring the grade reports since they were in high school, and then we analyze them together. And also after we plan a visit, a house visit to them. When we visit them, we see the lifestyle, the condition that they are living. And then we want to make sure that not only they are smart, but also they need the means, the financial means to be a Thrive Ansanm student. So after all those processes, and then we realize that the student is well qualified to become a Thrive Ansanm student. And after we analyze the interview, we analyze the profile, and then we analyze everything. At the end of the day, we take a final decision to say that you are a well-qualified candidate for Thrive Ansanm to become a scholarship, to become a student of Thrive Ansanm. So it's become more and more complicated because they are very smart students, and then they are in need. They send application, but as you know, our financial support is very limited, so we are not able to answer with all the needs. But that's why we believe more and more we need your people like you who is watching this video. We need your support to be able to give more young people, more kids here in Jeremie to access education in order to become good quality of citizen, to develop this country, to develop their community.
Yeah. Because, I'm sure, I get requests, you get requests, all the students who are coming to us and saying, look, I don't have money to go to university, or sometimes it's like I started and now I have to drop out because I don't have enough money to finish. And so, for every one student that we're helping with the means that we have, there's 50 students lined up, right?
Yeah.
For waiting. And many of those students are students that we qualify for.
Yeah, qualify for a scholarship. But our resources, our financial resources are very limited. That's why we are not able to answer with all of the students that are applying for this scholarship. But we believe that with the impact that we are making in the community, with the few resources that we have, the good thing about that, we have very few resources, financial resources, and we are making big impact. So that's why if you get a chance to watch the video, share it with your friends, share it with your church, with your community. If you believe someone will be interested to invest in life of this student, I'm telling you that you are not going to be disappointed. You are going to be proud of our students. You are going to be very proud of what we are doing because we are making huge impact with the few financial support that we have.
Okay, so as we wrap up here, I want to talk a little bit about the mentoring program. And, you're leading the mentoring program. So you've selected, you've connected with mentors in the community. And these are qualified professionals who are established in the community. We're matching them we're matching our university students with the personal mentor. So mentoring is a big part of what we're doing. As the leader of the mentoring program, as the country director for Thrive Ansanm, what's your goal for the mentoring program? And what are the principles that you want to see instilled in our students? In other words, what do you want to teach our students from your experience, sitting where you are today? There's things that have made you successful and helped you to get where you are today. What are those things, and how are we, through your counsel and through our mentoring program, instilling those?
Well, I would say our mentoring program is very important right now because our mentors are very well qualified professionals that we selected. But the good thing about that, we don't pay them. They are volunteering. They just offer themselves to help our students. So they share their experiences, they share their failure, they share their success also with our students. So I would say one of the things that can make someone successful at night is having goals and have plans. One of the biggest problem that young people are facing, especially in Haiti, is the fact that I understand the money, when you work, work is this a price of his salary. I mean, if you work, you need to get paid. But first of all, to get experience right now in Haiti, whenever you go to looking for job opportunities, they ask you a certain amount of years of experiences. But right now, you have to volunteering yourself. Go to other places. Go to some institution. Offer yourself. So the more you offer yourself, the more you get more experiences and the field that you feel like to get involved. And also, our research center, right now, all of this students, sometimes me as country director, Mr. Josh as CEO of Thrive Ansanm, sometimes our students might not be able to come to us to explain what they are facing because they might be afraid. But what we make, we try our best to make sure that our students are very, very okay with their mentors. And also, we make sure that if we have a male student, we put it in a male mentor. If we have a female student, we put it in a female mentor. So in order to become very friendly, because the mentor is someone who already passed a difficult path in his life, and also he wants you to learn from his mistake. He shares with you the mistake. He shares with you his failure. So now he can make you become successful. I can say right now, our resources, our mentoring program is one of the best in Jeremie department. Not only in the city, but also outside of the city of Jeremie, because a lot of people are talking about our resources program, our mentoring program. And that's why I just want to take a little time to thank all the people that make it possible for us to support the mentoring program, because it's something very important. And then we can, way back then, our students were very smart, but now they become smarter because they have someone they can rely on. They have someone they can talk when they are facing trouble, when they are facing problems or difficulties in the subject that they are learning. Like I remember a few months ago, we have Daniel is one of our nursing students, and also he were facing a lot of problems with biology. And then he went to his mentor with a physician. His name is Dr. Wozny. Dr. Wozny shared a lot of experiences with him, and then passed his class with very high score. So this is what's happening right now. We are doing so many impact in the life of young people, and but the mentoring program, it's very important, and it's one of the things that I feel very satisfied and very proud of. Right?
Last question. What is your hope for our students in the future?
My hope for the student in the future is that they are going to become well-qualified professionals, because we are helping them, we are shaping them, and then not only we are shaping them, but they are taking the shape that we are giving them. So we believe that there will be very good professionals, and also there will be good citizens for the community, because in the application form that we give them to submit to our website, we ask them one important question. We ask them, how do you see yourself helping your community after they finish after getting your degree? So many of them say they want to get involved. They want to see what they can do to bring change in this community. So that's why I hope for the students at the end of the studies or after finishing the studies, I would like to see them looking for opportunities for other young people. And the good thing about our students is the fact that many of them say that they would like to become sponsors in the future to bring change in the life of more people who doesn't have the opportunities to go to school. That means they understand that the fact that they get sponsored by Thrive Ansanm, but also they would like to do the same thing after getting their degree, which is a very good thing. And the hope for the student is the fact that they will become very mature professionals, they will become very qualified professionals, and I believe that the institutions that are going to hire them, they're going to congratulate Thrive Ansanm for the work that we're doing and the life of those young people.
Well, I just want to say, it's an honor for me to work with you, to lead Thrive Ansanm together with you. Your leadership doesn't go unnoticed, for sure. Thrive Ansanm 1 wouldn't be in Jeremie if it worked for you.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be anywhere close to where we are today without your leadership. Yeah. So thank you. And we're just going to keep moving forward, and we'll continue on Thrive Ansanm.
Thank you very much also for trusting me. Thank you also for letting your country, for letting your comfort zone to community to invest in the life of the young people in this community. We appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Now, Thrive Ansanm.
Thrive Ansanm.